Los Angeles, California, via the Inland Empire, Ontario, we have MC and performing artist HAZERD. He just released a new album, SOX In Lo-fi, and it's a banger. Hosted by the legendary Julio G. We're going to bring him in and talk to him about the new album, his incredible career, and his viral moments in social media. Let's bring him in.
What's cracking, man? How we doing? Man, this is really live. What's cracking on? Let's see here.
Really live, no edits.
Really live,
Boom.
no edit. For real, for real. How we
My
doing?
brother, what an honor to have you on. Man, you in high demand right now. The album, I mean, this is a lot of work too, but the album is phenomenal, my bro. Talk to us about SOX In Lo-fi.
Man, I appreciate you first of all for having me. So High Socks and Lo-Fi, produced by Zapata the Ghost entirely. You know what I'm saying? Real
Yo,
beast.
immediately official stamp right there.
Right, man. And just a beast on the MPC and somebody that really um you know, loves the culture for cultural purposes, right? And so, shout out Zapata for handling that. And then to have the OG, the legendary Julio G of West Side Radio, like it was wild. We had finished the project. It was like my vocals were done, we were mixing and whatnot, and I was chopping it up with Julio. We've kind of been familiar and cool with each other about a year and a half, 2 years now. And Julio had basically hit me like, um, come down. He runs LA Kush. Shout out LA Kush. He runs that shop, and he asked me to come down. They were they're having an event or whatnot. Came through, and then we were just chopping it up, and he was like, "Hey, Hazard, what are you working on?" And then I told him, actually, I got something that I think it would be really dope if I could just get a drop from you, OG.
Wow.
And he was like, yeah, whatever you want to do it. So I brought him to the studio, and he was like, "Well, is it done or what are we doing?" I'm like, "It's done. I just need your drops." And he goes, "Let me hear it." So we start playing records for him, and like I think by the third song, he leans over. He goes, "Hey, I was gonna do this for you just because I rock with you."
Yeah.
And he was like, "I didn't know it was gonna be this good. Like, I want to be a part of this in any way I could be a part of it. Like, let's do it." You know what I mean? And I was kind of shocked. I was like, all right, let's go. And so then he came in and he did his thing, stamped at West Side Radio, and we were off to the races at that
I
point. You know what I mean?
mean, what an incredible, it's like a major cosign.
It, it,
Major
it is
cosign.
dope for me. For me, more than the co-sign on some like industry stuff is
Yeah.
more like I grew up listening to him on the radio.
Yeah.
I was telling him I'm a fan of the early Cash Money stuff because of him, because he broke Cash Money on the radio out here
Wow.
when DJs were still breaking regional acts
Yeah.
nationally, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, it was like the guy that has a huge stamp on my hip hop DNA, for him to rock with what I'm doing,
Yeah.
like it was one of those moments where it's like, yeah, you're doing this the right way for the right reasons. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You can pat yourself on the back real quick. But, and as far as the project goes too, I got to give a huge shout out to my boy Dodger Blue. He's a gifted MC in his own right, but he kind of played the quarterback role on this one, and he A&R'd the project. We were all together recording a podcast that we got called the Gaslight Boys, and Zapata was there, and he was ringing beats off of his MPC, and we were in this studio that has a bunch of rooms, but the floors are like they were like an epoxy. They were hard floors,
Okay.
and so it's echoing off the floors and the walls, and I'm just hearing these like raw beats, and I'm like, bro, this is what you've been up to? Like, let me get a couple of those. And Dodger pops his head in and he's like, hey, I got an idea. How about he does all the beats and you do all the raps and give me an album that I can help you promote? So
Wow.
shout out to my boy Dodger Blue out of Boyle Heights, man. Because he's so talented in his own right. For him to run the play like that
Yeah.
and just play the back. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, that's a real
Yeah.
good dude right there. So shout
That's
out to Dodger
solid.
Blue.
That's solid because he heard beats he probably liked. You know what I'm saying? But he A&R'd the whole thing.
Right. And the thing is I was talking to the homie about this the other day. My DJ, the homie Nympho, I'm telling DJ Nympho, like, hey, bro, like, and he told me, bro, you got a really good like friend in Dodger.
Yeah,
And I was telling him, oh yeah, I know, because not only could he do the artistic stuff himself, but he's dope. Like he's
yeah,
good at it.
yeah,
You know. So for him to A&R the project the way he did, we really kind of took it back with this, with just the style of production, the focus on lyricism, the fact that I had a project A&R, if you
yep,
will. And then when I was done with it, he picked it up and took it to mixing. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was, shout out a Siphon, over at Infinite 22. He mixed everything. My guy, Justin, Sir Sayer, my boy Sir Sayer, kind of recorded everything and got a real cool kind of base level of what our sound was gonna be for the
yeah,
project. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So, shout out Sir Sayer, shout out Big Scythe, my boy Dodger Blue, Zapata the Ghost, Julio G, and then Nympho. That's my DJ, man. This fool he was rolling the trees for all the sessions. So,
yeah. He was, but that's the
right.
ambiance and the kind of the feedback and the energy that's
Right.
in the project.
Right, exactly.
That's dope.
No, exactly. We just wanted to make something cohesive. We feel like we did, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And it just came out. Obviously, I'm super independent with it. We're looking at this like grind, you know.
yeah,
I'm fully willing to commit to pushing this project for the next 12 months. I'm gonna put out a lot of stuff in between
yeah,
then, but I'm completely cool with being, behind this and pushing this for at
yeah,
least a year. I really
yeah,
believe in it that much.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's an incredible project. A lot of bangers on there. But I wanted to jump into some specific tracks that are amazing. You opened it up with such an incredible track, To Whom It May Concern. Talk to us about that track, what it means, and what it means to you.
Yeah, so kind of crazy because I recorded. So we're in March 2025, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, March 2025. I started recording this in like the beginning of September, I think, 2024. I recorded
wow.
for like, you know, I don't know, it was like a month and a half window. I was in a session once or twice a week, and I was just going in and just push play on the beats, and just listen, and To Whom It May Concern, I feel like the title's completely appropriate. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. I've served time in California state prison, and I just feel like there's a lot of stuff with social media and the tools that we have today.
Yeah,
They can be tools, to your benefit, or they can be to your detriment, right?
yeah,
And so I'm just, on To Whom It May Concern, and throughout the project, it's kind of a common theme is like, I'm never gonna be on some super preachy, you should do this, you better not do that, because who am I? I'm just gonna talk to people about where I've been, and if you could see some, they say what is it? Uh, a smart man learns from his mistake, but a wise one learns from those of others.
somebody
You know what
else's
I'm saying?
mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you can be wise and learn from my mistakes, I'm gonna give you the game as best I can.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? And so I just feel like To Whom It May Concern is exactly that. You know what I mean? If you are making certain decisions that you feel like you don't have a choice other than,
yeah.
I understand. I've been there, but let me tell you what comes with that. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So
yeah.
so that was kind of the motivation and kind of the theme behind that
Yeah.
song.
Yeah, and you opened up an incredible album with an incredible song with that joint. And I'm not gonna go into too many of the songs, but there's some that really stood
Yeah.
out. This one just happens to be like in order, but 87 Baby is such a
Yeah.
banger. That's such a banger, bro. Talk
Thank
to
you,
us about
man.
that joint.
Yeah, so what happened was for 87 Baby is kind of interesting because um I know we're gonna get to the whole 40-ounce series, but with with my 40 ounces, the one thing that I've taken pride in is that they've always stood as a unique thing.
Yeah,
And I don't really have any beats from any of the 40-ounce series that are, either they're commercial beats on the real old ones, or these are one-off from independent producers. They've sent it to me and they live as that
yeah,
weekly installment. With 87 Baby, that beat I actually used on a 40-ounce Fridays when I was in New York. I remember I was running around New York and doing a lot of stuff, and I didn't have time to really like pick a beat.
Yeah.
Let alone we didn't even know where we were gonna do the 40-ounce that week. My engineer was with me, and my boy Danny Zico, that records every single 40-ounce. He was with me, and we're running around New York. We're kind of like semi-vacation, but we're doing music stuff, and we got the wives with us, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I'm telling him, like, he goes, "You got a beat yet? You even got a beat?" And I'm like, "Nah, bro." And I had that beat, and I hit up Zapata. I'm like, "Listen, bro, I don't know what I'm gonna do this week. Can I use this?" And it was the beat that we used for 87 Baby. And he goes, "All right, Has, but only if you promise me that you're gonna make a song to it eventually." And I told him,
Yeah, cause it was so dope that he didn't want it to be like, and the 40-ounce series has become iconic.
"Yeah,
It's iconic now.
yeah."
But at that moment he was like, bro, this should be on an album.
That was his thing. So I told him, I promise. And not only that, I won't even like recycle the rhyme from the one. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you a
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
fresh my word to you. So in the beginning of the song, if you hear it, I said I usually don't dip back in the cooler this quick after I kill a 40.
Uh,
Right? It's the rarity. You know what I'm
oh,
saying? I'm
that's
saying
so dope.
I don't
That's
reuse the beats from 40-ounce. You know, this
yeah,
is a rare thing, but I really rock with this track. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So, um, that was the way that track happened, and then just the whole 80s. Like, I don't make any bones about the fact that I'm not 19 or 20 years old. I
yeah,
take pride in the fact that I rap like a grown man. You know what I'm saying? I rap like I have some perspective on life.
yeah.
So I don't shy away from that. I'm not like, oh, I'm born in 87, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so for me it was that. And then just the, having Julio cutting, because those are his scratches, you
That's
know what I'm
dope.
saying? On To Whom It May Concern, and on 87 Baby. That's actually him cutting on the
That's
track.
crazy.
Um, yeah, man, it was a beautiful thing. But yeah, that track's kind of the same. A lot of reflective stuff, and it just felt good. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
was sitting there like as I was rapping, and I was like, kind of. It was a moment where we were sitting in the studio, and something had happened. Somebody had reposted one of my old freestyle something, and and the homie looks at me like, "Hey, bro, how you feeling right now? It's kind of cool, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." Yeah. And it was just like that. Like, it was a good day in the studio. We were feeling good. You know what I'm saying? And so it was kind of like a positive self-reflection moment, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah, thank you, man.
The
Appreciate it.
Yeah, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
There's another joint that was kind of like a single. It's kind of like it came out before the project dropped, which was Talk Can Two Step,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that joint. Talk to us about that joint, because that's a little bit like the lead single, or it was like the
Yeah.
you know the made the buzz keep go. The buzz was already buzzing, but for the project.
Yeah, so I had finished recording this in like October. I was done. I did my work. I'm waiting on mixes. I'm trying to get artwork done. And again, like, fully independent. So I'm contacting
Yeah,
artists. I'm asking for samples of artwork. I was getting, either left on scene or, yeah, I got you, then ignored or whatever. So I had hit one of my boys. He's like a tattoo artist, but then he was like moving tattoo shops. So he's kind of going through a lot. And then finally, I got another homie to help me out. While I was going through the whole artwork thing and then listening to the mixes and making sure everything was right, um, I'm like, bro, this should have been out in November. Like, the way it felt, I was like, I want to put this out even before Christmas,
yeah,
right? But um, it ended up working out the way it's supposed
mm-hmm.
to. But like, I was frustrated, and I was like, bro, we got to give the fans something.
Mm-hmm.
So Talk Can Two Step, the kind of the inspiration behind it, or whatever the case was, it's like, I guess you could say it's a love song, but I just say it's a real life song.
Yeah,
And I kind of framed it like we put it out on Valentine's Day. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I told people, like, look, if you want something kind of smooth that you can play, so on and so forth, check this out. Drops on Valentine's Day. But then the other thing for me was the rest of the project. Sonically, it's like that, but thematically, it's not really, right? So the rest of the project is so hard. I purposely put that song out because I wanted people to not know what to expect when the album dropped. If I
Yeah.
would have put out like Man Down or 87 Baby or To Whom, I feel like people might have, oh, okay, I know where he's going,
Yeah.
But I feel like by putting out Talk Can Two Step and then the project, I had people hit me like, bro, I love the single. Don't get me wrong. I had no idea this shit was gonna be this hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of the purpose and the reasoning behind it. And then, like I said, real life song. So the missus was happy when she heard it.
Yeah. It's like everybody was happy on Valentine's
Yeah,
Day.
it's a good day. It's our day. You know what I mean?
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
I think that for most people in LA, most Latino people, they understand the title, right? High Socks and Lo-fi. But to hear it from the artist, like what that means for you, the spelling of it, all of
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. So basically, I the idea of the high socks thing, being from Southern California, being Mexicano, and really growing up in the Chicano culture,
Yeah.
I knew the word Chicano when I was like 7 or 8 years old. I had a very clear understanding of what the Chicano movement was in the 70s because of my pops. And
Yeah.
so for me at least, I always understood that there was a certain amount of like reverence that I'm always gonna have for
Mhm.
certain like aesthetic elements in the Chicano culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it be the baggy jeans, the baby cuffs on your Levi's, or the or the fact that you might wear your socks pulled up to your knees and your shorts way past your knees, right?
Yeah.
Um, so when I when I thought of the name, I had the project. If it's 9 songs, we were like 6.5, 7 done,
Yeah.
something like that. It's a 6.5. And I had another title for the project, and every song I recorded, I was getting frustrated because I really loved the records, but they didn't fit the title that I was going for.
Right.
And I was like, if I put some skits in, I could probably make it work.
Yeah.
But still, it wasn't fitting. So then I was driving and I was like, okay, well, what do I got? Okay, I got a bunch of like real traditional like beats and they're gritty and they're grimy and
Hmm.
okay, and I'm talking kind of telling my story and then it just popped in my head. It was like high socks and lo-fi. You know
So
what I'm saying? And the spelling of it was just basically like I like the lo-fi is Lofi, and so I
yeah.
spelled high Hi just because when you look at it, it looks kind of
It,
cool.
look,
I'm gonna just be real. This shit just
it
looks
looks
cool.
really dope. It looks really
Yeah.
dope.
And then the socks, I just grew up wearing White Sox caps, because of where I grew up at, and I just I thought that was important, like just kind of a tip of the cap to the hometown and where I grew up at and whatnot. That was really it. And I liked the way it looked. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like when I had it in my head, and then it was like, no, but I'm gonna spell it like
Yeah.
this, and I wrote. I got to the studio. I remember I got to the studio. I'm asking for paper because I don't write nothing down. So like I'm asking, and they're like, "What you talking about?" I'm like, "I gotta see something written down. I gotta write it down." And I finally find some paper and I like write it out, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, "Yeah, that's it." Because I typed it out. I'm like, "Yeah, seems fine. I gotta write it down though."
Yeah.
And when I wrote it down, I was like, "Yeah, that's it."
That's
You know what I
dope.
mean? So it's basically the idea of being from the West Coast, growing up, with the Chicano culture, but also really loving hip hop, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so the idea of it being, high socks and lo-fi is the idea of, you know, paying homage to the two cultures that have really made me who I am. You
That's
understand?
dope.
You understand what I'm
Oh
saying? Like, just
yeah.
just just because of my last name, where I was born, where I grew up at, and then because of the hip hop culture to save my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, that's what that title, embodies and symbolizes.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah,
Appreciate you.
lo-fi is like dusty beats, right?
Exactly.
It's like
And,
dusty.
and the production, I'm very well aware that the production style on this probably leans more quote unquote like boom
Right,
bap. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I'm well aware, like for everybody, I've had a couple people hit me like, I don't know if I'll call that lo-fi. I'm like,
Right. They get into like a sub genre,
yeah,
like real like I understand the concept.
yeah. And thank you, bro. And I feel like it's hitting. I feel like people are understanding what I meant. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Like
So
the genre got its name from the concept that you're tapping into,
exactly.
right? Like lo-fi means low fidelity,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So that grittiness, that griminess, that imperfection that makes it super dope.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what
Yeah.
makes it ill.
That stuff.
That slight imperfectness, that that you can hear that kick was played, you know what I'm saying, on the pad, and he liked it like that. It's
Yep.
not quite on the grid. He,
Yep.
makes it real fun for me when we're in Pro Tools. But
Right. The
but like,
quantize.
you know what I'm saying? But that feel, I felt like the title perfectly kind of embodied that,
That's
you
dope.
know?
Yeah. You had a dope name for the album. You had a dope album ready to go, but the cover and the back cover, right? The whole project is it's dope because it's also simple, right? So it's like it's the done where it's like you get the whole meaning of the name of the album in a picture. Who took the picture? How did the album cover come together?
Yeah, shout out my boy Mike Angelo of Mike Angelo Photography. My boy is a real cool dude, a hip hop head from way back. And I met him through my boy Lucky Luciano out of Santa Monica, branding manager, brand builder extraordinaire, Big Lux. Um, through my work with Big Lux at a couple of podcasts, and then going over with him to Cookies. Had some clothing situations with Cookies. Mike would be at a lot of the events and whatnot, and he'd always be snapping flicks, and we would always just chop it up, talk. I was knowing we were wrapping up. We were getting Julio to do scratches on To Whom It May Concern and 87 Baby. So I told Mike, I said, hey bro, come with me to the studio. I'm gonna have Julio here, Zapata's coming through, take a bunch of pictures, yeah? And he did. He obliged. He came through. He snapped a bunch of flicks. And then I was looking at some of the pictures, and I'm looking, and I'm like, I want the cover tonight. I'll figure out the graphic side of it, but I want the cover done tonight. So I took Mike outside, and there's like an alley behind the studio we were at, and I told him like, I need you to take like 100 pictures. I'm getting my album cover tonight, and he was like, all right, bet. So we did a bunch of them, and then the one that ended up being the cover, like my shorts from like the knees down or whatever.
Yeah.
That one he took probably about halfway through. And then I remember he had told me like, "Hey, let me get a full one of your whole body though." And he kind of
Yeah.
took the one that ended up being the back cover.
Yeah.
And for me the reason I chose that picture for the front and then the back for the track listing is because wanted people to understand like those are really my my polo slippers. Those are really my shorts. Those are really my socks. This is really me. Like you're getting me in this project.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is I don't know how to do anything else. I don't really want to. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I really wholeheartedly gave people me on this project. The influences, a lot of just stuff from the gut, from the heart. And I spoke to people and I was like, y'all either gonna love me or hate me. It's cool, but I could live with that.
Yeah.
This is, you know what I'm saying? This is
Yeah.
me. So that was kind of the reason, for choosing those photos. And then, shout out my boy Cash One. The dude's a very talented, very very talented dude with the lettering and whatnot.
Yeah. Because
And I told
the
him
font is dope.
that's all hand done.
Wow.
So yeah, shout out my boy Cash One, man. Like I cared about taking it back to the essence of hip hop.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So like from graph to the DJ aspect, having Julio drop his drops on there, me rhyming, and then Mike Angelo, like the dude's he's a madman. I had him in the studio. I was laughing because the dude was literally like pop locking in the studio when he heard some of the tracks
That's
because we
dope.
had some of the stuff playing. So like 87 Baby was playing. This was doing a robot in the corner. You know what I'm saying? So it was just cool, like, cause he's from that era. He's a few years older than me, so he was coming up in the '70s and '80s, and he was really doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was funny because I remember Julio was listening, trying to get a scratch right, and here's Mike pop locking in the corner. He kind of caught it out of his eye. I'll never forget it. Julio's like this, like he's like got his turntable right there, and he's got everything plugged in. And he starts scratching, starts messing around. He's like, let me just kind of get the feel of this. I'm like, yeah, bet, go ahead. So he's messing with it, and then Sipes sitting there on the mix, and I'm standing there kind of like, what do I do? Like I'm okay, whatever. I'm just gonna
Your
stand
work
here,
was
right?
already done.
Yeah. So I'm just like, this is kind of cool. And then you got Mike pop locking in the corner. And I remember telling him like, yo, thanks for bringing the fourth element, dog.
That's
Like, you
right.
know what I mean? For you.
That's dope.
You know, so I just love the fact that I feel like sometimes people say, you know, like, oh, you do that quote unquote real hip hop stuff, or oh, you blah blah, you know. And my thing is like, yes, I do, but that real hip hop is the culture of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I just MC. Like I'm just a rapper. You know what I mean? That's one of the elements. You know, I make rap music. Like people be like, yo, you rappers, you make that hip hop, and I'm like, I rap. I participate in hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
so for me, that the project was that I wanted every element kind of represented. And when Mike was over here pop logging in the corner, I'm like, I guess the B boys will rock with it too.
Yeah.
You know, you know what I'm saying? So like, so you know, man, if you out there and you like doing, you know, any kind of flares or whatever the case is, if you send me some videos you break into it, I'll be glad to post it. You know, but
That's dope.
you know what I'm saying? I really, this was like, you know, my love letter to my love letter to people in the hood, and my love letter to hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And oftentimes that crosses, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Very much so, right? But
Yeah.
it really was. It was like I just more than anything, I just wanted people to understand like these are the things that made me. You know what I'm saying? And so that was the kind of the inspiration though behind the artwork. To make a long story longer. You know?
Yeah. The- you know, you in your career, you've had like a lot of dope video work, right? You've done a lot of visuals for different tracks that you've participated in, your own and with other people. Dope album. What are you thinking in regards to visuals for any of the standout tracks on this project?
That is an amazing question. You're a very smart guy. Uh, um, I think it's been interesting watching where the visual medium is going, because I feel like with kind of the death of the music video
Yeah.
networks, they're there, but they don't play videos no more, right?
Yeah.
And they haven't for a long time. And obviously, you have YouTube, and it's a weird thing because you do have official music videos from big artists that have hundreds of millions or a billion
Yeah.
views. But, but at least for me, right? Very rarely do those videos really make like an impact on the culture,
Yeah.
right? Only like there's a few that I could think of over the last 10 years, and for some reason the biggest one right now that's popping up to me is I think Nicki Minaj had like a video where she was like butt naked, or the Anaconda joint. I
Yeah.
remember when that video came out, it was a big deal. Everybody was talking about that video, right?
Right. Right.
But it feels like that doesn't happen as much.
Yeah.
And now with Instagram and whatnot, it seems like everything's vertical and everything's 30 seconds, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and you've had a lot of success in social media. So you got
Right,
to kind of think about like, am I going to invest the time, effort, energy, resources,
right,
organizing it, logistics to do a
right.
video when I could use that same amount of energy to do many?
Exactly.
Yeah,
And so I would say that the the answer is yes and yes. I'm gonna do both. I gotta go shoot tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow we're going to shoot. I'm gonna be shooting like all day. We're gonna get like at least, my boy said he can promise me six, but he's shooting for eight.
wow,
Like short form
yeah,
pieces. And then also we're definitely dropping. We shot some footage for Talk Can Two Step, but then we had some logistical issues. But I do have like half that video done. That was cool. Julio came out. That was a real big
that's
one,
dope.
for us. But when I do videos, because of the video work that I've done in the
Yeah,
past, I'm so picky, man, because I feel like I came up on like as a kid. I remember the first time seeing Thriller, and
Like the
then I
big
remember,
videos, like the
yeah,
like
and then
mini
and then I
movies.
remember like the hip hop that I grew up on. All the videos looked like, I mean, they were all $250,000 budgets.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Even a video like as quote unquote simple as "Back That Ass Up" by Juvenile, right?
yeah,
Okay, if you really look at it, it's technically a simple video, right? But they were at this big, they were like at a big music festival. They had the girls going crazy, and they look like giants. They look like superstars,
yeah,
right? 50, when 50 was coming up, he had those real cinematic looking videos.
yeah,
Eminem was kind of tongue in cheek with his same thing. Even like dudes like Jada Kiss with the D Block stuff. It was hard and it was gritty, but those videos look
yeah,
dope, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So for me, kind of just being such a child of like Hype Williams and the Benny Booms and you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like the fact that those guys had such an imprint on me, like I feel like if I'm gonna do a video, it's got to be dope.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And so I've taken 300, 400, $500,000 budgets, maybe not 500,000, but 500 to $1,000 budgets,
yeah,
and we've made some cool stuff. Like I don't think I've ever spent more than, I think the most I ever spent on a video, and I had help with it, but I think we probably put like 13, 1,300, $1,400 maybe, something like that. When I did Start a Riot back in the day, because we had to like rent cop cars.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And we rented the SWAT gear, we rented all that. But I mean, like I take pride
That
in
joint
that.
still goes hard, by the
Thank you,
way.
bro. I
That
appreciate it.
joint, that joint, that
Thank you,
joint. If
bro.
you put that in the club or you put that somewhere where
Yeah,
like people trying to wild
yeah.
out, it'll still get people moving.
Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, like I really like just being a student of hip hop and the great videos that I saw over the years. I just feel like if I'm gonna do a video, I can't mail it in.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I want it to look slick. I want it to look like a film.
yeah,
You know, yes, definitely a couple. I've been paying attention to, like, it's kind of cool because we have enough people listening
yeah,
that I'm able to look at some of the numbers from some of the different apps, and I'm seeing what people are listening to and where,
yeah.
and so I was pretty right with what I was gonna shoot for. I got one that, I don't want to say surprised me because I believe in every track, but I got one that far and away is like leading and streaming. And I didn't think that was gonna happen. So
Wow.
so yeah, so shout out everybody for streaming the hell out of Thoughts and Prayers featuring my boy Jameson James.
Yeah.
It's right, it's in the middle of the album,
Right,
and
right. So it's not like the first track where people listen to it. Like it's a track that people find, they add it to their playlist, they listen to it over and over
yeah,
again.
yeah, and it's wild. Like when I'm looking at the numbers on that track, I'm like, wow, really? Like, don't get me wrong, I put it on there because I thought it was dope.
Absolutely.
I put it on there because my boy. So I only got two features on the album. I got Danny Zico on Talk Can, and then I got Jameson James on that. And when just looking at the way people were responding to that one, I'm like, oh, okay. So we probably like really probably doing the video for that
Right,
when
right.
I
That's one
didn't
of the
even.
ones that maybe you didn't think about doing,
I
but
wasn't thinking about shooting a
there's a
video for.
demand.
Yeah, but we're definitely doing the video. Like the fans asked for it, I'm gonna give it to them for
That's
sure. Yeah,
dope, man. That's dope.
yeah.
The
Thank
the
you.
the project is new, but I wanted to ask if you're working on or if you're planning on doing like merch for this joint, right? Are you because we're in an interesting time where like physicals um look good, feel good,
Mm,
but everything's streaming. So some people release CDs, some people release tapes and vinyls, but a lot of
mm,
that's for the live show, for the collectibles,
sure.
sweatshirts, t-shirts,
Right.
right? Um, I wanted to ask you, and we'll jump into that after this question, but you got a hat dropping, right?
Yeah.
The hat drop is coming up. But are you thinking about doing merch for this album?
Yes. We're definitely gonna do a vinyl at some point. I just don't. I was waiting so long on artwork that I was like, well, we're gonna have to put it out
Yeah,
digitally, and then we'll let the demand kind of dictate if we do 100 pieces, 500 pieces, 1,000 pieces.
yeah,
That's just kind of the numbers that are in my head. And then the physical, so that's gonna be the vinyl. But then we're gonna do, and I don't want to say too much yet,
yeah,
but we're gonna do something really cool for like a physical. I guess it would be considered like the CD. Um, but I really want people to feel dope about it. So I got to shut my mouth until I
Yeah,
make it happen.
yeah, yeah.
But there's gonna be a vinyl of the cover you see, and then there's gonna be another physical that's not gonna look any. It's gonna be completely new artwork.
It's
That's
gonna be dope.
yeah. I'm gonna leave it there. I'll tell you after. I'll let you know after. But there's gonna be a completely separate physical. And then yeah, people seem to really rock with the artwork. So I mean, why not? You know what I'm saying? If I'm able to, in a perfect world, I would like to be able to do the hit of the front on the front of the shirt and the back on the back. You know what I mean? It's
That'd be dope.
just it gets a little like pricey, and so like if y'all see the numbers when they come out, I swear to you, it's not because I think you guys are made of money. Like
Right,
wholesale
that's just
stuff has
what it
gone
costs
up.
to do front and back.
For real. So I really want to do something like when anytime we've done merch drops, we've sold out because I always focus on like the best quality, all the little details that I can. I think it's important. Like I am a fan of this first.
Yeah,
And I remember being a kid and going to Tower Records, going to Virgin Megastore, going to these different places and seeing the CDs on the rack and the shirt next to it and the whole thing. You know what I mean? When
yeah,
there was a big drop from a big artist. And I remember like, 50 came in the game and killed it with G Unit clothing.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I remember, fashioning a lot of my clothing around stuff that I heard.
yeah,
The Wallabies was the big one, right? Like wanting to rock some like to wear some Clarks was the shit. Like just because of what I heard, you know what I'm saying, from Ghostface, what I heard from Raekwon, like I was like, oh yeah, I got to get
yeah,
those. At first I didn't know what the hell those were. I was like, what are those? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I didn't know. It was before the internet, really, right?
yeah,
But yeah, like I feel like giving fans a premium experience is like the least I could do.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like so yeah, we take pride in that. Every drop that we've done has sold out. And it's always like I've had family members hit me like, "Hey yo, cuzzo, I bought the T-shirt just cause like I'm supporting what my cousin's doing, but this is a nice shirt." You
Yeah,
know what I mean? So definitely, we definitely plan on doing the merch, and per our other drops that we've done, I hope that anybody that shopped with me, they can attest to. We always have like really good quality
that's
stuff.
dope, man. Oh, talk about merch. You got the hat dropping.
Yeah.
You got a hat release event on
Yeah.
March 30th this Sunday,
Yes, sir.
right? Talk to us about this hat collab.
So I'm a stickler like for matching to a T. So I right now I got this Mayscape Ontario joint, gray brim, green under brim, right? A little low
Oh,
bear and a low
oh, you
puffer,
got the
right?
bear. You got the green bear with
Yeah.
the. Oh man.
Yeah, bro. So and then the low puffer, right? But this right here I'm so proud of, man. It's a collaboration between Make Skate Ontario, which is a skate shop in my hometown of Ontario, California, and the 40 Ounce Fridays brand. So this is what it looks like. Make Skate Ontario right there. We took the eye out and we put my thirsty 40 ounce Freddy dude right there. And then it's got, our area code there, city crest right there. It's a snapback. There's the original 40 ounce Fridays logo is embroidered on a little hang tag right there. And then underneath you got this brand new.
Yeah.
And underneath you got the 40 ounce Fridays Make Skate branding, like on the inside of the cap. So it was just what I like to do is when it comes to me partnering with brands or doing collabs, I gotta like the stuff,
Yeah.
right? So I was wearing the hats, and then they started selling more of them. Like the owner of the shop reached out to me. He's like, "Bro, people are coming in with their phone. Like, I want this hat." You know what I'm saying? He
Oh,
was
that's
like,
dope.
"Let's do a collab." Said, "Say less." He asked me for my file, like my little files of the different logos and whatnot. I sent him over, and then he designed the hat. You know what I'm saying? So shout out Brian out of Make Skate. Real good dude. But yeah, man, he just he reached out, showed a lot, sent me a bunch of free caps. Like he was like, bro, just please wear them. I did, I be in downtown LA, Hollywood, San Diego, Orange County, up in Ventura, out in Vegas, and I'm wearing the hat. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, um, he showed a lot of love. My dude Brian out of Make Skate, real good dude, and I'm just real happy to have this collab come together because is one that just kind of makes sense. You know, it feels real organic. I got a lot of people from the city that are excited about it, excited for me,
Yeah.
proud of me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it came about. And like you said, March 30th this Sunday. We'll be at the original Make Skate location on Francis. We're gonna have a DJ, free music. We're gonna have a raffle. We're gonna do giveaways. I'll be there. Come take a pic, say what's up, buy a hat. My boys, Mr. Struggle Made 909 and J. Lou, they're from the city as well, and they do a lot of TikTok and IG like comedy skits.
Yeah.
And they've gone viral several times over. Those are the bros. They'll be there as well.
Dope.
So it's a dope kind of like hometown, you know, pride, event. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? Like we're very prideful where we come from, and it's really cool to be able to be proud of the town you grew up in, and then have it be the cool shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because like I know like being such a fan of hip hop in New York, if there's one thing that somebody they're gonna let you know they're from the Bronx, they're from Brooklyn, they're from Queens. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They're gonna let you. I'm from Uptown. I'm from Whoop De Whoop. So I feel like I feel that same sense of pride in my community
Yeah.
that helped make me who I am. You know what I mean?
Dope.
So shout out to the city of Ontario, Make Skate Ontario. That Make Skate Ontario 40 ounce Fridays collab, man, it's official.
That's dope. You said the logo, the guy's name's Thirsty Freddy?
40 ounce Freddie.
40 ounce
40 ounce
Freddy?
Freddie.
Who came
Yeah.
up with that?
Me,
That's
me.
dope.
I be bro, I I be telling folks like I keep it real light and I just, I am who I am. But this mind's working all day, but I'm playing 3D chess with people they're playing checkers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like the rhymes, I do it because I love to. You know what I'm saying? But like as far as business plans and what I have structured for what I got, like if people think I'm moving now, stay tuned. You know what I
That's
mean? Like
dope.
it's gonna get filthy and in a good way, I'm very excited, very, very excited for what we have coming. I say we because I got a really dope team, you know what I'm saying, that supports me and helps me kind of make a lot of this stuff come to fruition.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, 40 ounce Freddie. Out of the whole 40 ounce Fridays universe, that would be like the star of it. But I say universe because it's a universe. I got other characters coming behind them. It's
That's
gonna be dope.
dope. That's
Yeah,
dope. I think you the star of 40 Ounce Friday, bro.
appreciate
And talking about that, you know, it's been going strong for so long. It's truly impressive, and I think you're reaping what you've sowed. You know what I'm saying? Like you've been building this and had a lot of viral moments, a lot of incredibly dope verses over the years. I think you're like in the 300s, like 310, I think it
it.
is.
Yeah. Hmm.
Just unpack it for us. Talk to us about how it started and how you've gone through it over this long period of time.
Yeah. Um, it was originally intended to be a promotional vehicle for music. I had kind of quit rap. It was a little bit around the time that the Buzz Bars verse had kind of, when I had first done it, it hadn't taken off, but when I had first made it, this was like 2017. And I was kind of in a weird place mentally. I kind of stepped away from music. I was dealing with some stuff. I had uh, a child custody case for my daughter. I kind of locked in. I focused on that. I got custody of her, and when I did, my boy Urban, he's from out here from the 818 San Fernando Valley. Urban was part of his rap crew called All Angles. When I first came home from prison, they were like some of the first songs I ever did was collabs with them.
Yeah,
Urban had he stopped rapping, but he was still, trying to keep his creative juices going. He had started making beats. So this is me, like, just kind of quietly. I'm not making music anymore. And he comes, "Hey, bro, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "None, chilling, raising my daughter, trying to figure that out."
yeah,
And so, he was like, "Bro, listen, I got some beats. You got to listen to them." So he came over with a Bluetooth speaker, laptop, played me a bunch of stuff. I was like, "Oh, I like that. I like that." He's like, "Would you rap to it?" And I was like, "I mean, yeah, I guess." He's like, "Come over to my house, bro. Like, let's record some stuff. I got like he had like a 16 track little deck, and he had a mic, and he's like, come over. So I went, we recorded a few songs, recorded a few more, and he's like, bro, this is really good. You should put it out. And I was like, yeah, but dog, like nobody knows who I am. And I'm tired of putting out music that tens of people listen to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, there's got to be another way, bro. Like, And so I told him, like, at the time, Buzz Bars was just a video. Like, I had shot, Start a Riot. I had shot this, and I was like, I can't put this on my YouTube. Like, people are gonna be like, oh, this dude lost it. You know?
Right, because you had such a high quality video,
Yeah,
and then you had like a freestyle,
yeah,
which was a dope freestyle,
yeah.
but it wasn't that kind of like quality filming and big
So I
production.
felt, so I felt like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put it on my Facebook. Like
Oh,
I just put it there. Like the first place that verse ever was on Facebook. So I put it on my Facebook, and then it got, you know, maybe a few hundred views. And then one day I woke up and I had like 200 friend requests. And I'm like, because I was my personal, it wasn't even my artist page. It was my
yeah,
personal Facebook with my government name
yeah,
on it. Right. And all of a sudden I had like 200 friend requests. I was like, what the hell is this? And somebody in Jersey had shared it. And then, I think he shared it, and he was a black dude, but he put, who said Latinos can't rap? And it was just a regular dude from Facebook, and he just posted that, and it just took off. And I think it ended up doing me like 15,000, 20,000 views, something like that. I can't remember. But I remember talking to my boy Urban, and I was like, bro, we got these records. I'm proud of them. They're great. But what are we going to do with them? We're going to put them out, and 15 people going to hear it. What if we like do like a run? You know that one video of me rapping drunk in the homie's living room? It's doing kind of good on my Facebook. So like, what if I just do that every week? Like at the time, Instagram had just started allowing you to put a minute video up,
yeah,
and I was like, bro, I could drop 16 bars in a minute. Like 16 bars is about 48 seconds. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I could drop a 16 bar verse, and he was like, all right, let's do it. And he's like, how many you want to do? I was like, I don't know. I don't know, maybe we'll do 10, 20 of them. It'll get a little buzz, then we can put the album out.
yeah,
So we were doing them. We got to 20, we got to 30. And then all of a sudden we're like 30. He goes, bro, you want to do 40? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. We got to 40. And then he was like, what if we go for a full year? Right. And the only thing that we knew at that time, as far as consecutive rap series goes, was Crooked Eye. Right.
yeah, yeah,
And shout out to the legend. But we knew Crooked Eye for the Hip Hop Weekly.
yeah,
So I was like, bro, he did a year. I could do a year, and he was doing full songs. I'm just dropping these freestyles. Let's put this out. Let's put the project out after a year. And my boy Urban was all for it. We kind of started kind of tentatively planning like a little album release at a club. I'm calling at the time, like, do they still even press CDs? You gotta understand, it's like six, 5.5 years ago,
yeah,
whatever it is, almost 6 years ago. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe we could press up like 100 physicals. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So as I'm doing all that, I look up and the world closed. It was a COVID-19 a pandemic. So
Oh,
we looked at each other and we were like, what do you want to do? He's like, I don't know. What do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know. And we were just recording in his room.
yeah,
But, he had some stuff going on, and he told me, like, yo, like, I got to do the social distancing thing. I got to try to be careful, protect the fam. So if you could record the verses at your house, send them to me. I'll mix them and send you the videos back. And I was like, oh, okay. So we started, we just kept it going because we weren't sure how long this was going to last,
yeah. And it
you know?
happened incrementally. People thought it was 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years later.
Right.
Right.
So at the time, I just started doing more of the verses, and I'm doing them from my living room. There's a good like volume, I don't even know, maybe volume 48, 49, somewhere around there,
Yeah.
to like volume 80. They're in my
Yeah, there's
living
like
room.
a range that was
Yeah,
like the COVID.
and they're like in my living room, and we were recording them. I had three iPhones. I had um my iPhone. I was recording my vocals into. I had another iPhone or like an iPod that was like playing the beat. Okay. And then I was using either my lady's or my stepdaughter's iPhone to record the video. And then
Wow.
I would take a literally a iPhone voice recording, a video off the iPhone, and then I would send the actual beat to my boy, and then he would like turn up my vocals all as much as he could in the mix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we did that for like 40, 50 weeks, almost a year. And then things kind of started loosening up. I went back to his pad. We got to like 2 years. And then God bless my boy Urban. He went and started a beautiful family. You know what I'm saying? And he just told me like, yo, I really got to do this the right way. So like I can't really, commit to you every week. And I was like, no, you're good. And I ended up moving over with my boy Danny Zico out of Room Z. And then that was when we started kind of adding production value, lighting. My boy Danny Zico invested in a camera for himself, but he was like, look, I'm gonna use you as my test
Yeah.
subject. And so we kind of dialed in lighting, dialed in camera work, the whole nine, and it's what you hear today now. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. When I go listen to the old ones, it doesn't even sound the same.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, we were getting brand new fans off of that quality, you know?
Yeah.
I always tell people like if you got a good idea, just start it, bro. Like
Yeah.
the
Take
important
action.
part's to
Yeah.
start, perfect it as you go. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
good.
If the
Yeah.
core idea is good enough, just get it started and you could perfect it as you go.
That's dope, man. And so many of those moments have helped you grow all over social media. I think the Buzz Bars has done millions and millions of views. I saw that joint. I saw before, way before
Yeah,
uh, tapping into the rest of your work.
yeah,
I came across that video multiple
yeah,
times because the joint went viral.
yeah. It's been a blessing. It's the gift that keeps giving. I it's wild because I always tell people like if I had stopped, let's say I had done maybe 20, 30 verses, and then for whatever reason Buzz Bars go super viral,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had a backlog the way I did. I was 130, 140 verses in
Wow.
on 40 Ounce Fridays when Buzz Bars went viral. Um so I had 140 pieces of content to go back to, not including other music videos, not including other loose verses, not including anything else I had done. You
Yeah.
know, so um, that's why like the most important thing you can do if you're a creator is create.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? Even if people aren't necessarily paying attention right now, you know what I'm saying? Make it. You know what I'm saying? If it's good enough, it'll find an
Yeah.
audience for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. That's dope.
Excuse me.
Yeah, brother. Nah, you dropping gems. That's so good. The uh you've probably been asked this before. You have an incredibly dope project right now, which needs to be pushed, and as many people as possible need to hear it. But you're so well known for the 40 Ounce Fridays. Have you thought about releasing that as multi-volume, uh, you
Yes.
know, yeah, DSPs
Yeah.
type thing? Because people love those joints.
So the first 130 or 40 of them before the stuff really went viral, they were all I was jacking for beats. You know what I'm saying? I'm rapping on Wayne beats. I'm rapping on Jay-Z beats.
Yeah.
And it was Jay-Z Dead Presidents 2. That was the one. They got my like account flagged. Like the Warner legal hit me up. Yeah, it was
Oh,
all bad. I was like, bro, really? This is the beat that y'all are tripping on from '96? You know what I mean? So you
right.
gotta. I rapped on Lean Back. I rapped on so many Dre beats. I rapped on Eminem beats. And it was Dead Presidents 2, Reasonable Doubt. It's the craziest thing. That was the thing that, like, I mean, they shut my account down.
Wow.
They pulled the video down. They gave me like an account strike, and they were like, "This is very serious." And then I wrote an email to Instagram, and I was just like, "Look, I hope somebody reads this. I'm an independent artist. This is a rap freestyle in the hip hop culture. This is very common. There's pages all across IG with famous rappers rapping over other famous rappers' beats. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You guys promote this
Yeah.
content. You know what I mean? Like, don't don't kill the little guy. You know, I've built a base on here. Don't ruin it for me right when I'm getting to it. You
Wow.
know, and so somebody read that because they actually like unflagged it, put it back on my account. It was kind of like shadow ban. It's probably like the 40 ounce that has like the least amount of views. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's hard to find. It's there though. It's on my page. Um, but so those I was always kind of like, what do I do? You know what I'm saying? We actually had went back. When Buzz Bars first went viral, I had like somebody hit me up and they were like offering me some money, and we had went back and reproduced like the first 40 of them, and we were gonna do 40 at a time until we were caught up, and then I moved over to original production around 150 or so.
Yeah.
Um, so long story longer, yeah, we do have the intention of it. I want to do like a kind of like a box set. I would love to be able to do the vinyl like 40 verses at a time because you can fit like 22 minutes on one side of a vinyl.
Yeah.
So you could do about 40 volumes, you know, per vinyl.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking of maybe doing like, you know, releasing the vinyls volume 1 through volume 40 and then 41 through 80 like that until we get to the end and then maybe doing like a box set.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? And then also on the digital side, maybe like a thumb drive.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But if we go that route, shout out to Nipsey, rest in peace. We're definitely doing the proud to pay model. Like if people want it, it's gonna be. I already rapped all the words, but it's a pain in the ass to go back and grab them all and kind of put them in one cohesive place, and
Yep.
then make sure that they're like mastered properly for vinyl is a whole different process.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So like, if y'all want them, you know, and we do them, like it's gonna cost you.
It's a lot.
Like, you know,
Absolutely.
but it's a
It's your
massive amount of
craft.
work that they're gonna be getting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So absolutely yes and yes, and the packaging on that is gonna be fun. I've already kind of sat with somebody for that.
That's dope.
So yeah, man, I'm like I said, I'm playing 3D chess. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to this Cristopolis, I'm not, you know, to me like I came up just in an era where there was a lot of cool shit in the physicals and in the merch department,
Yeah.
and I feel like technology's only gotten better, so we should be doing cooler shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
dope.
so like, so yeah, hopefully, over the next couple years, we can give everybody, you know, scratch that itch, I guess you could say. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
That's dope, my bro. We unpacked on the first part of this interview the new
Right.
project, High Socks and Lo-fi, available everywhere now. You shared a lot of dope stories about the amazing 40 ounce Fridays. Um, my bro, any shout outs you would give if we start to wrap it up?
Um, yeah, man. Shout out to my team. My boy Danny Zico, my boy Urban, that put the battery in my back way back when. My boy Got Beats, the homie Deontay Keyshawn, Mike Angelo on the photography. Everybody, my boy Austin Gray on the photography. Um, um, my boy Ace 18, on the video side. The homie Mark Ford on the video side. Um, uh, I'm blanking right now. Everybody's been supporting the project. Shout out to y'all. And just for every single person that has made kind of a desperate kid's dreams come true. Thank y'all. Shout out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like all I ever wanted was to create music and have people listen to it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm getting to the point where I can pay my bills off of it. That's a blessing,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I would just say shout out to every single person supporting what I do, you know. And again, man, my boy Dodger, bro. Shout out Dodger Blue for putting this whole thing together.
That's dope, brother. That's dope, brother. It's an honor to have you on the Christopolis show. This is about the right amount of time to keep it like real, like nice and
Yeah.
crispy. But I just want you to know that your career is spectacular. I've gone back and looked at the work you've done with all sorts of incredible, uh, prolific, well-known artists, XP, Conejo, Rowdy Rax,
Yeah.
battles that you had, 11, 12 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
you have a tremendous career. You have tremendous one-liners, Cholo and Polo over Boom Bap. Come on, I could spend hours talking with you, but right now, you know what I'm saying? Right now, this is the moment where like we've had like really, really beautiful gems. So it's a good place to stop for now. We'll pick it up, sometime in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, bro. And then when you're done with this, if you don't mind, I'm gonna holler at you. I was
Yeah.
gonna hop on a call real
Absolutely,
quick? Appreciate
brother. Absolutely.
you, bro. Shout out to Cristopolis show. I go
Hey,
by Hazard
brother.
to the mic, aka Mr. 40 Ounce Fridays, and I appreciate you, bro. For
I
real.
appreciate you, my brother. Salute. Peace.